Welcome to the Thing Generational Wealth Quote of the Week. And this week's quote is from Master B. And this is titled Top 4 Quotes Regarding Success from Master P. So you can find this content on YouTube. And it's titled, again, Top 4 Quotes Master P Regarding Success. Okay? Hope you enjoyed this content and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Keeping the hustle going. We're in a culture that's a billion-dollar business, but we create millionaires. So I talk to a lot of guys that I know that got a lot of big contracts, and the financial advisors running everything. And it's like, when basketball over, and you can't play basketball anymore, and you haven't put anything into learning financial literacy, where do you go from there? You go back to the hood. They take everything, they steal everything that you have. We're not thinking ownership. You got somebody writing your checks. Even though there's good financial advisors out there, but most of them, at the end of these guys' careers, it's the same story. What happened to my money? I come from independence. I come from owning product. That's the way I was able to be who I am. And as I grow and mature, I'm thinking, like, what if a LeBron owned the Cavs? How much money he would be making? Own Nike. It's good Nike gave him $1 billion shoe deal, lifetime deal, but how much money are they gonna make off of him? What happens when we actually own the product? When you look at all the big brands, from Apple TV to Apple Music, these guys are taking over the industry. And we gotta go to them to sell them our product and to get a small piece. But we are not creating brands on our own. And I think that's where I plan to change the game. I wanted to be more of us, more minorities, having the opportunity to cash out on what we do every day. If you're a businessman, an entrepreneur, you gotta find a problem. So I found a problem. Record stores are closing, but video game stores are opening, and that's when it hit to me. I'm like, I need to be in a video game business. I put my life, my passion, the same way I did into the music, I put into the video game, and I'm mostly like probably the only person that looked like me, come from our culture, that's a part of this in Silicon Valley. I feel like and I also, what I learned in business, just like what she was saying, when you give somebody your word is so important. Once I gave her my word, I had to come. Even though I got a million other things I got to do, I said, well, I gave her my word. And that's going to go a long way with you in business. Once you give somebody your word, it's good to get it in writing, everything that you need to get done. But when you give somebody your word, you got to stand by it. Because when you start standing by your word, you'll be able to build more relationships and resources. So, not really, because, my whole life is about helping the kids, helping other kids, letting them look at my life through a blueprint. You can't just make it in the music business. I want to show people that you gotta have a couple of things going. Because when that thing ran out, something else might open up. The film, the TV opened up for me, all the clothing. The music business is not the same no more.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, it's about the marketing, it's about the endorsement deals. So you got to get hot in something to get those.
You do.
So, I think in this game now, what I know how to do best is about being independent. What you just did, now down the line you meet somebody, you might see them again. And they're going to remember you. You build those relationships. I did the same thing with Warren Buffett. Didn't know he was Warren Buffett. Guys, I'm sitting in the room with Donald Trump, Robert Kiyosaki, and I'm thinking, these are the guys. And he told me, he said, man, look, this old guy over here, he makes $1 million just touching a computer. And I've been talking to this guy the whole time. And I'm like, wow. You never know who you might be sitting next to or who you might meet. So when you get into a room, you got to take advantage of networking, just having an open conversation, meeting somebody, telling them your name, telling them where you're from, telling them what business you're in. You know, tell them whatever you're involved in. Because that person might know somebody, say, hey, you know, you into, okay, I could hook you up with, then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is my guy from over here. That's what building relationships is about, the networking. And that's the first part of business, being an entrepreneur. Because you might not have the money to start the business, even though you're an entrepreneur, you got the idea. That's how people say they started a business with no money. They had the idea, but then they went to somebody and networked with the person that had the money.